and welcome to EBADay 2019 in Stockholm. I'm Hannah Wallace, and kindly joining me now is Paul Thomalla from Finastra. Hello Paul, it's lovely to see you again. Thanks for joining us. So I hear you've been talking a lot about this idea of a tipping point.
Yeah.
So to start off and really set the scene for us, can you tell us, what do you mean by that?
Well, I think the tipping point comes from the idea really of TIP, transformation, innovation and partnerships. And I think they're the three drivers that are driving the whole of the industry right now, one way or another. I thought it would be a good opportunity to try and discuss that.
All right, so let's firstly come to the T, transformation. We're talking a lot about the drivers at EBADay, so could you highlight what some of those are, drivers for transformation?
I think the key one, quite frankly, is still legacy systems. We've talked about it a lot. The industry is still full of legacy, and it is still a ticking time bomb. On top of that, we have regulators that are forcing change. They're now putting timelines down, 2023 in the UK, 2023, for instance, in South Africa. And they're saying, by this time, you have to do all of these things, let alone all the other regulatory things that the financial institutions have to do. And of course, thirdly, least we forget, is customers. Customers are driving change. And what they're seeing, perhaps in the more high-tech world, from the Apples and the Facebooks of today and what have you, it's all very cool, but that crosses over into the corporate space as well. And the end customer is saying, well, why can't I do that now? So I think those things are the three drivers. The key thing underneath that all, though, is time is running out. The regulators are saying, by this time, you will have done all these things. And customers, they're getting a bit cheesed off too.
Sure. All right, and coming on to the I of the umbrella, innovation. I was recently at a Finastra event, Fusion One, and there was a lot of talk about how FusionFabric.cloud is helping innovation. So could you tell us a bit more about that, please?
I think innovation is absolutely key to the industry. And we talk about it a lot, and we talked about it in terms of hype. In the last few years, we've sat and we've chatted about things that are going on in the industry that are absolutely hype and not a pragmatic point of view. Now we're seeing a lot more pragmatism in what needs to get done. And what we're doing with FusionFabric.cloud, for instance, at Fusion One, is we're making all these APIs available to all of our applications and all of our systems. So platformification, not a very nice word, but it's really at the core of what's going on. So we've now wrapped all of our products in APIs. And at Fusion One, we had people coming in and testing it. And the guys were building apps by the end of the weekend. And we judged them. I tell you what, it was fantastic. So this thing is really real. It's not hype. It's really being laid out there for developers, fintechs, and of course financial institutions to take benefit.
And one of the aspects, of course, supporting this innovation is partnerships.
Yeah,
again, a really big topic of discussion at EBADay as well. So what's the importance of partnerships and collaboration in moving forward here?
I think in the greater scheme of things, the way the industry is now, it's going to have to partner, whether that's with fintechs or whether it's with other banks or whether it's with other parts of different industries to try and get to the right place. Or, least we forget again, it's with the end customers to partner. But I think partnerships are a nebulous thing until they become real. What we're trying to work with, for instance, at Fusion One, was to work with people that we didn't necessarily know very well and say, here's our set of APIs, this is what they do, this is our sandbox, come and help us, work on something innovative that we haven't thought of. The other side of this, of course, is that we've got a lot of work going on with Accenture and with Microsoft, and we're calling that the power of three. So Finastra, Microsoft, Accenture, and we're now delivering PPaaS, which is a horrible acronym, but it means Payments Platform as a Service. And what that's really doing is saying, we will take on all of those transactions for you, we will process them, we will manage, and between the three of us, we will take that workload on and make sure that it happens. Or put it another way, this is how you get to a standardized world and deliver the timescales that the regulators are so aptly saying you've got to do.
All right, and coming on to innovation then, we were recently at Fusion One, and we spoke a lot about FusionFabric.cloud, which is really encouraging innovation. So can you tell us a bit more about that, please?
Yes, I think, look, what we've seen over the last couple of years is absolute hyperbole of AI is going to do this, and blockchain is going to do that, and they're all very cool. But now time is running out and people need to get on and do stuff. And so when we were at Fusion 1, we saw FusionFabric.cloud and Fusion Pay Plus really coming together to allow developers, to allow fintechs, to allow financial institutions, corporates to start to get some kind of design thinking going on and fix some of the problems. Here's what we can do together to make change happen. Now that's based on a whole series of APIs that we've built all around our platforms. That's how we're going to make change. And I think innovation is going to come from that style of approach, bringing together different people with different types of APIs to make change, to innovate in the industry.
Some really exciting developments ahead then, safe to say. Paul, as always, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
And good luck from going forward. Thank you.
It's cool.